Welcome into Movie Men. I'm Eric Stafford. This, of course, is Keegan Matheson, and we are here to talk everything movies. First off, we as you can see, Keegan's getting me choked up. But we are actually talking about something that's kind of a subgenre, you would say. Okay, we understand that a lot of you folks have gone into, I guess, lack of a better word, streaming.
Oh, yes.
So everybody's streaming now, and they're not doing... what we do is buy physical media, and I had tried to be a good boy and not buy a lot of physical media, and I actually tried to purge a good bit of mine, and I came to find out that I didn't really like that. And so I've decided to get back into it. But the subgenre we're talking about today, you know, there's a lot of people still buy DVD.
Absolutely.
That is still the highest sold home media is DVD.
It's very surprising.
Which is surprising, but if you check Billboard, the Billboard charts, DVD still outsells Blu-ray and 4K. Now, Blu-ray is a little better, and 4K is a little better than that, but you got to upgrade equipment to go with it. So, but what we're talking about today is one of those subgenres like we were talking about, like Blu-ray, but now they come in collectible 10 boxes.
Yeah, so it's packages, but they're like, I mean, it's the same disc as you usually get. It's a DVD case, as it normally is, but they're more valuable. And
well, they're considered more collectible,
yeah.
and it's usually a shorter run. They're not as well done as or done as much as the blue cases, or the black cases for 4K, but they are done in short runs. They usually, sometimes they'll have an artist representation on the cover that they normally wouldn't have. So it usually has a different cover and everything, but it's got the steel cover feel to it. And then it also, it can scratch very easy. So there's a whole other thing with that, where folks
dent even easier.
And dent very easy because it's a little tin case. But people really like them. So it's like a totally different kind of thing.
Absolutely.
But it is a very sub-genre. And Keegan's sister was even balking at the fact that we were going to do a show about it.
A show about steelbooks. That's like the nerdiest thing you could possibly do. And we're just adjusting our glasses, putting on our pocket protectors, and being nerds about this.
Yeah, we are movie nerds, and this is what we do. So this, I mean, you're going to have to deal with it. But this is like, some people might have seen these in the store and go, well, why is it in a steelbook? And or they might see the original movie poster on the cover and go, why is that one $20 and this one's $15?
Right. Or
something. So, and locally, Walmart sold them for a little bit here.
They did, and then they just disappeared.
But they kind of just quit.
I guess it was like a
recently. Recently, they just quit. Now you can still order them online, and they'll ship them to your Walmart, so you can still get them locally. But Best Buy does exclusives.
Absolutely.
So does Target. But there's lots of different little genres within Blu-ray and 4K that they'll have the Steelbooks. There's Digibooks.
Which has the actual like booklets.
It's an actual book, yeah. And then there's like the next Star Wars has got like a gallery book. It's called a gallery book. So it's not even in that same setup. But they're doing so many different little things. But Steelbooks kind of stuck out. So here's some trivia. What was the first steelbook ever made?
Oh my gosh, this is fun. I don't know.
The first steelbook ever made was actually a PS2 video game, and it was Killzone.
Killzone.
And it was made by Sony. So it was made for the PS2. So that was the first steelbook ever made in the United States. There's world collecting's a whole nother thing.
Oh yes.
But that is a possibility. Now, what was the first DVD that actually got a steelbook? Because DVDs had steelbooks before Blu-rays did.
Psycho. What do you think?
No, actually, it was for a big name title at the time. It was Quantum of Solace. When Quantum of Solace came out, it was
James Bond.
It was the first film on a DVD on a Blu-ray on a
Steelbook.
Steelbook. Let me get my words right. Now, what was the first Blu-ray that ever had a Steelbook?
You're
in the
stumping
United
me.
States. Well, I looked this stuff up because I thought it was interesting because I didn't know either. But it was Captain America: First Avenger.
Oh, really?
Was the very first Blu-ray to have a Steelbook. So that's our history lesson there. I watch a lot of movie review guys on YouTube and stuff, and I've never heard anybody mention any of that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But we have with us various Steelbooks. I have had some in my collection and purged and then got some more back. But Keegan here has quite the collection. Quite the collection.
This is 12 of the 100 that I have at my house.
He's got over 100.
I mean, okay, so we should go into like why I collect Steelbooks.
Yeah, let's go into that.
Okay. Not only does it have better artwork, it's just so much more. So I can resell this particular one. I can resell for like $55.
Yeah, now, and he does that too. He doesn't just say that.
Yeah, and when you buy a Blu-ray or just a DVD, you can sell maybe $2 or $3. But if you have something of value and you can have the physical copy of it, I think it just adds to the reason of why you want to collect them.
And see, like you said, you could get like a copy of the Prestige on Blu-ray for like $2 or $3.
$2 or $3
if you found it somewhere. And that's another thing that movie collecting has this whole different thing. It's whatever price you want to throw at it.
Absolutely.
And it's like, hey, I found this one for $2 or $3, and then later you get the chance to get
the Steelbook.
The Steelbook, you might go for the Steelbook.
$30,
you know, so it's that kind of a thing. You can, and I love like getting like dollar DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff.
Absolutely.
So I love it.
And that's a good route.
That is a lot of fun. So now you had, now I know that there was a time, I mean, this is recent. You've not really been collecting a long time on this.
I started here and you got me into movies. So I started collecting last summer and I've accumulated 100 so far.
Well, he had one big eBay buy that was just
there's a whole lot.
It was a bunch, and I was like, oh my God, I wasn't even thinking of, that many movies at one time, and it's been a long time since Eric's been, had bachelor money, where you go to a convention and drop down $500 for absolutely no reason. It's been a long time since those days. Well, so you kind of you take your hits where you can. You buy as you can.
Well, so I still spend my fair share on dates and things too. So
I'm talking children. Once you have children, you have no money. I mean, that's just the way that goes.
Well,
children
I bought a whole lot of these. These are DC animated movies.
Yeah.
So this is the Batman Hush DC animated movie, and they only make these for Target, and so they're Target exclusive Steelbooks. And I bought a whole lot of these, and that's basically where the bulk of my collection is. And they have awesome artwork. That's another reason why I collect, is because it's so much better than the DVDs or the Blu-rays, regular blue cases. In my opinion.
Now, like you mentioned, Target having their own, Best Buy has their own. I know FYE for Your Entertainment, which is. There's some. I know there's one at Concord Mills. That's the closest one I know. There used to be one in Hickory, but they all have different Blu-ray covers exclusive Steelbooks that they do. So it's kind of like, which one do you like the best?
Exactly.
It's what it boils down to.
Exactly.
But you've got, I mean, like that one has beautiful Jim Lee art. If you're a big DC fan, then Jim Lee is the publisher of DC Comics, and he is also an incredibly talented artist and does crazy drawings of stuff. So he has some cool stuff. And then you've even got...
or you can go down the rabbit hole like I have, and these are UK exclusives. So they only came out in the UK.
Yeah, and I noticed you had some foreign things.
This is Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, which is probably one of my top 10 movies of all time.
Yeah, and it's probably not showing up because it's Jimmy Stewart's face and it's green.
Oh, yeah.
And we got a green screen.
Yeah, I was looking to see.
So it's probably not showing up terribly well.
It's pretty nice.
But it is from a dream sequence.
And you can see inside, he's like holding on.
Yeah, he's holding the edge.
It's pretty cool.
And okay, now that's another thing that I think of as far as a graphic artist, because I do have a degree in graphic art. But the thing that always got me with the Steelbooks and why I wasn't necessarily terribly impressed was they don't have all the accoutrements like a DVD booklet or something.
Oh, right.
They don't have a lot of the printed material usually.
It's really art-based, though.
Well, it is art-based on the outside on the case,
Like,
but I mean, you know,
I'd never seen this cover before, the Steelbook. Like,
and I've noticed they don't put a lot of
pretty wacky.
Yeah, don't drop it. Dented, but they don't seem to put sometimes the extras and things like that, the extra disc or something like that. It's like the more money that you're paying, it's like just a movie. And it's that always kind of threw me a little bit, but that's my personal thing. But I love going through some of the stuff. Like you said, you've got a lot of British ones.
Yeah, so this is the German version of Chinatown that I haven't opened yet.
Okay.
Which also I could resell for, $60.
Yeah.
These are collector's items more than anything. I don't understand why people want to throw that kind of money down on something. I didn't throw that kind of money down on something, but I love the art, and you can't beat Jack Nicholson smoking on the cover.
Yeah, well, that's actually the art from the original poster, I think.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
You know, Faye Dunaway's
face.
And,
it almost reminds me of the Great Gatsby cover.
Well, that was about the same time.
Yeah,
it was around the same time in the 70s. Now, okay, so something we haven't even talked about is when you buy foreign releases.
Oh, yes. Some of them can be region locked, and if they have like that little sticker on it right there, most of the time this means that it can be played on anything.
Really?
Yeah, this means if it has this on it, it's region free.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if it has this on, it's region free.
Okay.
But sometimes they region lock it, like this one here, which is the Doctor Who.
And
Series
usually
5.
BBC discs are all region
Can't play
free.
it on anything in America because it's only made for UK. And I bought it from Amazon UK, so I guess that makes sense.
Well, it makes sense, but I think they gotta kind of warn you a little bit. Now you can buy world players. There's something called a world player, and that is it'll play any region in the world, DVD, Blu-ray, and look at that. Yeah, it's got all kind of attachments in there. But they do make those. There may be $20 to $30 more, and you can go on to Amazon and just say region-free player, and you can get most of the major machines, Sony, LG, Samsung. You can get any of those players usually in a region-free, and it seems to be that's usually in Japan.
Yeah,
the Japanese players are region-free.
Like this is Rear Window.
And that's a beautiful cover.
And this is UK exclusive, so like that's that. And then the back is awesome.
Yeah.
I like that probably better than the front.
But that's a pretty cool cover.
You get this open. And I love the inside. Even when you look on the inside, there's awesome art.
Yeah, so it's got
Jimmy Stewart with his long.
Yeah, it's got the long lens checking out. Perry Mason across the hall.
Pretty great stuff.
Raymond Burr was the guy he was expecting of ne'er-do-well. Not doing well. But they also have like numbers on them. Like that one has 15.
Yeah,
it's
like
suggested for a 15-year-old.
Yes, that's the rating. That's basically RPG or.
Yeah. So I saw like one of them said 16. So I was like, just a year worse.
Right.
Just 1 year worse. Just 1 year worse.
If only I was.
That's the way that goes. Now here's one that looks near and dear to my heart.
Oh yeah, gotta have a Star Wars one, right?
So you got the Star Wars one. Let's see. Open that bad boy up and we'll see what's going on.
Oh yes,
with that.
there's multiple discs.
Oh, there's multiple discs.
Multiple
inside.
discs. It also has the little thing.
And all the
this
Star
one's
Wars.
kind of funny because it has Blu-ray 3D. You ever have a Blu-ray 3D player?
Yeah, there are a lot of, you can get a 3D player and a 3D TV, and actually the PlayStation 3 will play, and the PlayStation 4 will play 3D disc. So you don't have to have a special player necessarily, but they will show the Blu-ray in 3D, but apparently they can't handle the menus. Like if it's got a menu and the menu's in 3D, apparently, I know PS3 couldn't. I remember that being an issue. But you got to have special glasses and the TV, and I don't even know how many 3D TVs they make anymore.
Probably not a whole lot.
It was a quick thing. It kind of went by pretty quick, and now we've got HDR and QLED and all these different things, and they're already looking at 8K. So, but for guys like us that collect physical media, it's pretty cool what we can get, and we have all these different formats. I bought Star Wars in so many different formats, from Super 8 to Laserdisc to
George Lucas has gouged you for every dollar.
Yeah, he's just siphoning money off of my pocket.
I love this one. This is a recent release. It's Knives Out. It kind of looks like a book, which is pretty cool because the main character that gets murdered was an author.
Okay.
And so on the edge it has like little sheets of paper. Of course,
yeah, it
and
looks
on the
like
back
it looks like
is
a
the mansion.
book.
And what's really cool about this is the slip has the knives all pointing to one suspect, and then it lets you know who did it if you put it on. But I'm not going to do that because spoilers.
It's not going to spoil the movie.
I don't want to spoil the movie for you.
Now,
it's pretty great though.
Yeah, now I have a lot of contentions about Knives Out because it was made by Rian Johnson, who killed Star Wars.
Last Jedi. I could have brought that one for you.
Yeah, Last Jedi. Yeah, I'm not giving that man any more of my money. I've made a point. If I see that movie, I'll see it for free.
There you go.
That's all I'm saying. I will not pay to see it.
Here, I'll let you part of this.
Yeah, I'll see it for free. I'll check it out at the library, Caldwell County Library, now with curbside service.
That's true. Curbside service, Caldwell County Library.
Just go online and use your library card, and you stop by and pick it up.
This is a fun one. This one's Blade Runner. Got the Ryan Gosling on the cover, and we also have Mr. Harrison Ford of Han Solo fame.
Yeah. Well, Deckard.
Pretty great.
Any Deckard.
And the inside's kind of boring. I don't really like the inside of this one.
Sometimes the insides are boring on them, but they, and that's what always.
But we collected for the steel on the outside and the cool artwork. This is definitely cooler than any other cases. That's for sure.
That is a cool case. I will give you that. Now, you were showing me this one earlier.
This one's pretty cool because it has a slip cover.
I was really impressed with it.
Slip cover, looking good.
But is that a British one?
Yes, this is a Zavvi exclusive. Zavvi is where you get most of the UK exclusive steelbooks.
Okay.
And this one's pretty cool. It's got the Rorschach in the back, and then all the Watchmen on the front there. And
it's kind of a brown color. It's not really black.
It's not really black. It's kind of brown.
It's kind of brown and gold, or almost greeny looking.
And it's 4K, and it comes with all these extras. Oh,
look at you, smiley face.
This is all deluxe edition, folks.
Yeah.
All deluxe edition. Yeah. More money, ways to burn your money.
Now, if you've never seen Watchmen it's considered, it's the only comic I think that won the Pulitzer Prize. Mm-hmm. No, I think that might be Mouse.
It's the best-selling comic book of all time, I think.
Yeah, it's the best-selling comic of all time. But it basically takes the whole superhero team thing and turns it on its head as far as it being a real team in real life and real world, and if they really existed. And so it's odd to me that this movie came out before Justice League or Avengers. It came out years before that, and so it's almost, kind of it's kind of backwards. If you've not seen it, you need to and you like Avengers, you might want to go back and watch The Watchmen, because it's all about a superhero team if they actually existed, and it's got a lot of stuff that really grounds it into our world.
Definitely.
And so a lot of the music and everything, great soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks I think of all time. But The Watchmen, so
dark and gritty.
Dark and gritty. Zack Snyder, that directed Justice League, directed it as well. Yeah, so Zack Snyder's known for his superhero movies. And he said at the time when he made it, he was like, they were going to make it, they were going to get somebody else, and if they're going to pay somebody else, they're going to pay me to do it. So that's how he got the
Speaking
job.
of Zack Snyder, Batman vs. Superman, it's a better steelbook than it is a movie, but it looks good. It looks real good.
It looks really good, and it's got that Jim Lee art. But it is a new original piece of art because they've got on the movie costumes.
And then on the back, I like this. It's like the original version of
Oh, okay. You got the black and white line art. So
pretty cool.
So
pretty cool stuff.
What's on the interior here?
And then we have, do you bleed?
Oh. There you go.
Do you bleed? Batfleck. Gotta love him.
Batfleck. And I liked Batfleck. And I liked him when he showed up in Suicide Squad and all that. And I was hoping for him to appear more.
These little things that I keep putting on the back, those are J cards. They just give you the basic information that would be on the regular DVD cases.
Okay. So I didn't know they had a name.
Yeah, these are J cards.
Okay.
Yeah, and it just lets you know Blu-ray and DVD.
Now, and you've got plastic cases that you've got some of yours in.
Yes.
I just try to be real careful with mine.
I don't know, scratch or dent.
You got some that are plastic sleeves, almost like a comic book sleeve, and I like that better. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But now this is a really neat cover, and it's also a world disc. It's one that's out there, so.
Right. This
So
one's
what
pretty
is-
cool. This is Halloween 2. It's supposed to light up his eyes, as you can see here. It kind of popped out.
Yeah, they're
It's
like
supposed to
little
light up.
light bulbs.
And it's supposed to sing the Halloween thing, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, but
Oh,
it's
there you
not
go.
working. I don't know why.
Oh,
Hates me.
well.
But this was a German exclusive, and this is like $150.
Now, and he says that, but he hasn't opened it up. So there's probably a battery.
I'm
you can
sure there's a
change
battery, but it's
or
minty.
something like that. It's minty fresh. It's sealed. He's not unsealing it. It's like the kid that collects the cereal boxes, and the cereal stays in the box. You know,
If it's limited edition,
it's
man.
limited
if it's
edition.
limited edition.
He's sticking with that. I just have a few. I used to get some when I reviewed movies. I used to review movies for WHKY and Hickory, and I used to get some in the mail, and they would randomly send me, when Steelbooks first started coming out, I got like Psycho and a couple of other ones, 101 Dalmatians, but they were just like, oh, they're Steelbooks. And I'm like, the movie guys would tell me that, and I'm like, okay. Because it's like I say, I thought it was kind of a bare bones release. It's just the Steelbook and the disc, and
Right.
that's it. There's nothing else.
Right.
And so I was kind of like, okay, impressed, not really impressed. It's kind of pretty. It's all right. So I have a few. I don't have nowhere near the accoutrements and hundreds
Stack.
that he has. Now, would I have them if I won the lottery? Yes, I probably would. We'll just be honest about that. I probably would. But my thing is, like I said, I tried to minimalize my life a little bit, and I tried to get rid of my physical media. And then 20th Century Fox burned me.
Did they?
They did. They burned me because when the new Fantastic Four, the last Fantastic Four movie came out, they made it so that you could not watch the two earlier Fantastic Four films streaming, because they wanted you to go pay money to see that
The new one.
piece of trash that
Yeah.
was the new Fantastic Four movie. So they were trying to control you. Now, that's the only people. Now, Disney has the vault. They put stuff in the vault from time to time, but they do make it available. So I have a problem with 20th Century Fox doing that. Once they did that to me, I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I need to start buying my movies back. I'm not gonna get caught without my media, the stuff that like matters. And there's certain movies that I've got to have on a shelf, like I said, Star Wars, Bride of Frankenstein is one of my favorites. But there's certain movies I've just got to have. And as a friend told me once, I couldn't sleep at night knowing it wasn't on my shelf.
Oh my God.
I could not rest or sleep at night because of that. Now, that being said, because of Keegan here and being inspired by him, I have picked up recently some of these are very recent, and so I picked some of these up. This is a movie that's kind of near and dear to my heart, but it's really kind of weird, and it was made in 1975, and it's Tommy.
The Who.
It's by The Who. I really like the songs by The Who. It is really a bare bones thing. I picked this one up from Hamilton Books, and like we're talking about, some of these are like $30 or $40 and stuff like this. This one's a few years old, but I picked it up from Hamilton Books. I like to talk about deals, can you tell? But I got this for $8 from Hamilton Book, and they sent it to the house. I didn't have to go anywhere. So hamiltonbook.com if you want to go and look at some. They have some good cheap DVDs. Now, I have my little J cover here, but I like folded it up and stuck it in here because they didn't really have any
Sacrilege.
internally, and they just had an orange interior. They didn't really do anything funky with the interior of this. The disc does have the Tommy thing. It actually tells the artist that had designed the cover, which was a Tom Whelan, and so he has other artwork and posters that he's done. I do really like it because it's a key scene from the film where Tommy gets attacked by the Acid Queen.
Very cool.
So it's kind of indicative of that. And then on the back, it's got the little. It looks like could be pinballs like Tommy, or it could be the beans that his mom has a scene with a lot of baked beans all over her, and Margaret. A lot of great people in this movie. The movie was really kind of well known for Elton John's cover of Pinball Wizard, because that was really big when it came out. And I remember seeing it at Avon right here in downtown Lenore and going across the street to an ice cream shop. How long has it been since? Now we've got ice cream shop back, but it was years and years that we didn't have an ice cream shop in downtown Lenore. But Tommy by The Who, it's a weird movie, but I still like it.
Speaking of Pinball Wizard, how do you think he does it?
I don't know. What makes him so good? I can sit here and quote Who lyrics forever. Now, I just happened to pick this one up. I'm such a cheapskate when it comes to movies. I really am. But Scarface with Al Pacino was at Big Lots.
Hey, look.
$10, man, $10. So, and this is the movie geek in me. It does have some nice accoutrements. It has 2 discs, which we'll talk about that in a second. But it also has little movie cards, and it came with the digital code, so you can see it, which I have already, I've already snagged it, so you've lost out on that. But the killer thing, and the thing that got me as a movie fan, was it has Warner Brothers' original Scarface on a DVD with it, which has Boris Karloff before he got famous.
Oh, very cool.
And he's like one of the gangsters. He's like a gangster in I'm going to say a bowling alley. He's in a bowling alley and they shoot him. But it's, he's this tough guy and they just walk in and they kill Frankenstein just like that. But anyway, and it's got a nice back cover. It's got like this little accoutrement there.
Very cool.
Scarface.
Got your AKs.
But yeah, so but it was, this was directed by Brian De Palma. If you've not seen it, say hello to my little friend.
Absolutely.
And so a lot of people, know that movie and enjoy it. This movie, I saw a guy, there's a guy I watch on YouTube, and I watch a lot of little YouTube review guys, but there's a guy I watch named Jeff, and he has a YouTube thing called Movies at Home. And he was talking about this movie, and then I happened to be in, not my Walmart, the Granite Falls Walmart, but I happened to be in the Granite Falls Walmart, and they had this movie, and he was talking about how much he loved this movie. And it's called Train to Busan. And it came out in 2016, and it is a Korean zombie movie. And it was directed by Yeon Sung-ho. And if you go back watching the movie, I just recently got a 4K TV and a 4K player, but this is regular Blu-ray, it's not 4K. But when I was watching it on my regular Blu-ray player, my regular TV, I was amazed at how sharp the picture was, and the picture was so good. So I haven't even popped this one in yet, so I need to check it out. But it does. It's a great story. It's the fast zombies, kind of more like World War Z or 28 Days Later.
Those were intense zombies.
Yeah, they're intense zombies. And what happens is this dad, he's raising his daughter, but he's working all the time. So basically the grandmother is raising the daughter, and him and his wife are divorced, and his daughter, all she wants for her birthday is to go see her mom in Busan. And so he gets on the train, he takes a day off from work, and he's on the train to Busan, and then the zombie outbreak happens. And they have to go through this train going 100 miles an hour and go through car after car after car of the zombies. Another neat trick to their particular zombies is that in this film is that when it's dark, they can't see. So when they go through tunnels, they can only attack you from the sound. So they're sneaking around and trying to get past all the zombies. But it's just a really good, it's really got I know this is going to sound bad, but it's really got a heart to it. It really has a heartfelt story because it's the dad and his daughter trying to get, and his daughter's maybe 7 or something.
So it's more than just
threatening,
blood and guts.
It's more than blood and guts. It's a human story, and it's like, and as the train gets closer and closer to Busan, they keep saying, it's getting worse, or it's worse here, or it's worse there, and don't stop the train, and there's the conductors there and all these people that happen to get on the train. But the particular cool thing about the Steelbook is when you take the artwork out, you have the Korean zombies, which I don't know if you can see because they're probably a little green. But anyway, it's got these Korean zombies, which are fast-moving zombies. It's not a slow, it's a lot of excitement, a lot of tension. Zombies. Not your grandma zombies, not George Romero zombies. These are jumping to kill you. As you can see, he's holding one off with a book on the cover. That's the dad.
If that's
And
not
he's
the best advertisement for a library.
He's got a book in his mouth to keep him from biting him. And then there's kind of like a picturesque scene at the end of the film. But
so picturesque.
So
seeing the zombie apocalypse.
The calm end. So you have the danger side, and then you have the calm end. But I picked this one up at Walmart. You can get it at Walmart online, wherever DVDs are sold. The actual disc didn't come out until the movie came out in 2014, but the disc didn't come out until 2016. And like I said, I saw a reviewer talking about how much he loved this movie, and I was like, I gotta see that.
Sounds good.
I'll drop them $20. I will drop the $20 to see that. Now, it's kind of, I'm going to say it's the one that started it all, or got it all started back, and that is Batman Superman, which Keegan had, but he had this one. And he gave me this one for Christmas. So I got this one for Christmas. And it has a really cool, so it started it all back. It's all his fault.
Sorry.
But it's all his fault. The wife's got somebody to blame now. But it's got a double-sided.
Sorry,
yeah, exactly. You want to eat or watch a movie? What do you want to do? We'll spend money on that. But
Raymond.
I got a friend that's got a coin that he flips for comics or food.
Oh.
But anyway. So it's got the Batman cover on one side, but then you flip it over, and it's got Superman on the other side. So, and it has their actual photos marred and everything. But it has the 3-disc set. It had the all the accoutrements there that you've got it on DVD. And it used to be, you kind of had you didn't mind getting in DVD because you might have a DVD player in another room, or the kids have a DVD player.
Right.
So it's like, you got something in the other room. But of course, this is directed by the great Zack Snyder. It came out in 2016, and the Blu-ray actually came out that year. It came out pretty soon after that. So they ran.
They had to get more money for it.
Money. They were printing money
because it didn't do that well.
Well, it did okay, and everybody really liked Man of Steel. I think they were a little hurt by the end, but people did like Man of Steel. So, but he was pained. He was pained by what he had to do. I'm not telling you anymore because you need to watch the movie.
It's true.
So he was pained by what he did. But we went and saw. I actually took my son and a friend to see Batman Superman when it came out, and there's one scene where Bruce Wayne is kind of having a little daydream kind of thing.
Yes.
And scared the pants off those boys because they were like 10 or 11, and this giant bat flies at him, and it was pretty scary, pretty intense when the surround sound. And that thing, they were screaming. Ah!
It's a pretty cool scene.
It is a very cool scene, and it's the one that kind of stands out. But my biggest problem with Man of Steel is not any of those folks. It's just the guy that was Luthor.
Jesse Eisenberg. Oh my God. So, why don't we get the guy that played Mark Zuckerberg in the Facebook movie to be Lex Luthor?
Well, it would have been okay, but that's where. And he had a vision. It wasn't my vision,
right?
But that's where that's where a better director would tell him, "Oh, honey, you can't do that." Because he basically tried to be the Joker, and Lex Luthor is not the Joker. He's a different person. He's smarter than that. And he kind of, at the very end of it, it's almost like it's an origin story for Lex Luthor, because at the end of it, he kind of does seem tougher than he was.
Sure.
But Lex Luthor just,
he just had to shave his head. That's all that had to happen.
Yeah, well, no, but he had the bad attitude too. But I mean, Lex Luthor would shoot you just to watch you fall. Joker is just like, would do it crazily, but he may or may not do it. You don't know what his
He just does things. He's a dog chasing cars.
There you go. He's a dog chasing cars. That makes perfect sense. But these are just a few of his. Because we were talking about that. He was like, how many do I bring? And I said 10. And then he's like, I brought 11. And I was like, okay, he's so extra. He still brought 11. But that's, that's the passion of collecting. That's the passion of having the movies. And out of those 11, what's the one that you would hate if somebody stole?
Maybe somebody stole.
or it
Probably,
disappeared.
probably this one because it's
If
worth
you
the
lost,
most.
yeah, that is a cool cover. That's a really cool cover.
Probably this one because it's worth the most. But
Well, and it's German and everything. But see, are you ever going to open it?
I don't. Yeah, maybe.
Are you going to try to get another one that lights up?
I don't know.
They used to
I
have
love
talking cases. With VHS, there was talking cases for a while because you would go into the rental store and it would say a phrase from the movie or something. There was
that's
a couple
awesome.
of them. And the only one I can think of right off the bat, there was a few I do remember, but the one that I think of is, and I'm sorry, y'all, is Frankenhooker.
Mm-hmm.
But the line in the movie was she'd say, "Want a date?" And that's what it would say when you press the case. It would say, "Want a date?"
How very forward of that VHS case.
So she was trying to get you to pick up her movie and rent it. So, but I thought that was a kind of a cool little thing back in the day. I do remember some of them having lights, but I'm stumped to think of one. But I mean, there's so much that you can do with movies. There's so many ways to collect them, and you can go as cheap or as all in as you want to go. You can go from one end to the other, and everybody just have fun and enjoy your movies. If you have a story where that you have collected some movies, tell us. I mean, you can email me at eStafford@CaldwellCountyNC.org. That's right here on the screen, and you can email me and let me know if you had any movie moments or the famous thing in your collection. Some great movie story that you have, you're more than happy to let us know, and we'll talk about them on the next show.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything else you want to say, Mr.
No,
Procure?
I mean,
movies?
if you like movies and you want something that actually holds value more than a DVD case, this is what you need to do. This is your best bet.
Yeah.
I'd have to say. STEELBOOKS.
STEELBOOKS. Go with the STEELBOOKS instead. But it's really nice, and if you want to get somebody, you got a movie fan in your life, you give them the STEELBOOK, they're probably going to be a little happier than if you got them the regular release. I'm just saying.
That's true.
Just
it's a case they won't throw away.
Just a little bit happier. They might want the STEELBOOK of Willy Wonka. You could get them a lame movie, and
yeah, there you go.
Or not the best movie in the world, but you could get them. I grew up with Willy Wonka. I'm okay with that, but I'm just saying, you could get them a kids movie, and they might appreciate it better. Like you told me, you had all the Toy Stories. You got
I have almost all the Pixar movies.
Yeah, so
on STEELBOOK.
Even Wall-E.
Yes, it's so cute.
Doesn't like Wall-E.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just not as good as Monsters Inc. and Finding Nemo and then Toy Story.
It is as good as Monsters Inc. I'll give you that. Monsters Inc. is not the best film in the. I mean, I can watch it.
Them's fighting words, boy.
I've seen Ratatouille so much. I'm past that.
Well,
I'm past Ratatouille.
You had to pass Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, but I think that's part of it is Patton Oswalt. But I could get by with it. But anyway, if you have a great movie story, just send it to us. We'll be happy to hear it and happy to talk movies with you. We're just happy to be here and have fun and enjoy our time here as we talk movies. So if you got a great movie story, let us know, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye, Mom.